Dad? Dad?
Well, hello, Dave. Yeah. I know you couldn't see me in the hammock because of the camouflage, but here I am. So, I got something to show you. So just in the kitchen the other night, I made this little fire starter. And this paraffin wax with some corrugated cardboard. And I tore up this little piece sticking out the top so that I could get something to light. I want to try this and see just how long this burns. First, we're going to see if the rod will start it. Let me just get this. There we go. Okay, boy. Not starting with that. Okay. But what if I put some of this in there? Come on now. Now let's see if that will light it up. There we go. Now I'm gonna start the timer. We'll see how long this thing burns. As you can see here, that wick initially burned pretty big. We had, I'd say about a 6-inch flame coming up off of there. But now it's gotten down and it hasn't yet really lit all the cardboard on fire yet. Although it hasn't yet gone out. We're going to have to wait and see if this really takes off or if that wick was inadequate for getting this started. So here we are now at 5 minutes. And it has not flamed up. Still just a few inches of flame, still burning right there, kind of in the center. You can see all those shavings of the magnesium that didn't light initially. It is starting to spread the flame slightly over the surface of the wax now, but again, it's been 5 minutes and it's putting off enough heat that you could start some twigs or a number of things, or just use it as a heat source by itself. Just like this, it warms up the hands pretty well. We'll keep an eye on it. 8.5 minutes. The flame's still going. It has grown slightly. If you look at the base is starting to spread across the surface of the wax, and we're getting a little bit larger flame coming up off of it. Looking like this thing might burn for half an hour even.
Okay.
In the meantime, while that's going there, I'm going to show you some of the new skills that I have acquired in my recent adventures with duck hunting. So first off, we'll sample a few of these calls that I have here on my nice little lanyard. You may not think that's much, but it gets ducks when they're flying around. They will turn around and come back and fly over you, trying to find the duck that's calling to them. Here's another. This will sound slightly different, although similar. By using two different calls at different tones, it sounds like more than one duck's around. This is a nice little whistle because there are some duck species that actually make a sound, or the mallard male, the drake. You can actually call multiple different ducks with a little whistle there. And then this. Oh, this is the goose call. So here we go. Dang it, I've got to practice with that. Now you can see it spread again over more of the surface. Looking down inside the top, I can see that the wax is now liquefying almost across the whole surface. The flame is putting off more heat now, and we are 12 minutes into this burn here. And that's a little more goose for you. So check this out. I was given this hammock. It's actually a 2-person hammock for my birthday. There's Lily getting in there. And these are just party lights. Sorry, the cinematography is terrible.
I'm not doing the camera.
But very comfortable to lay in. When you set up these, this is just a rope cord here, and when you set those up, you adjust it just by changing where you put this knot. And of course you can take this out. There's one there, and here's another one just at the end to keep the ends together. But depending on the girth of your post or tree, you have different lengths of cord, and then you just use this carabiner to clip onto it. When you hang this up without anybody in it, if you use your forefinger and thumb held with your finger horizontal to the ground, that approximates the angle that you want it to be at, which even with her in it is pretty darn close to what we want it to be. And that just keeps it from sagging at too steep of an angle coming down this way towards the bottom, because if that angle's too steep, then it folds you in half when you put your butt in it. Anyway, very comfortable, and I'm thinking that this is what I'm gonna try taking out for a spike camp, with the addition of a small rainfly tarp that I would attach over the top.
Can I help you, Sarah?
No, you're not helpful.
Okay.
So here we are, 20 minutes. And as you can see, the flame's burning fine. And it looks like I underestimated the length of time this would continue to burn. I've been told to use a tuna can for this, which would give you a larger surface area to burn off of the top. This is a little smaller. This was a small can of sliced olives, and that would give you more surface area. But this right here, this thing would burn for a long time. Seeing how we've just barely blackened the top of the cardboard, it is putting off, you know, an adequate amount of heat. It's not super hot. Definitely burns hot enough to light other sticks or logs on fire. So if you used this as a fire starter, especially in rainy or wet conditions, this would totally do that as a single heat source by itself, it doesn't put off really enough heat, especially if it's really cold weather, to keep you warm, unless you were in some type of an enclosed shelter that could hold and reflect the heat back at you. So thanks for coming and joining us. I think I'm going to disappear.